running an online brand?
Oh, I hate when it has ads. How are you? How's it going? We're gonna get into some news in just a bit. Trying to listen. I don't even know if you could hear this in the background. I just wanted it on. I just wanted it on. Lo-fi chilled beats. There's a lot to sift through today. I hope you're doing well. How are you doing? Let me pull that camera closer. Before we get into the news, let's just catch up. How are things going in your neck of the woods? All right. I'm on a spiritual journey right now, and I'm glad you could join me for this spiritual journey. I think that's what we'll do. I've seen Hassan do that. Hassan will catch up with stuff going on in his life to open the live stream. And I think that's a cool thing. What's up, Alma? Good to see you. So when you join, just feel free to, if you got something to share, go ahead. Let me know what's happening in your neck of the woods. My neck of the woods is so hectic. I'm riding out a super El Nino hurricane storm. That's what's going on right now. But I got God as my guiding light. And I've come to understand why they say certain things like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Because if you can live through some of this stuff that's going on, you definitely work those muscles, whatever it may be, whatever muscles they may be, social, emotional, stress, patience, love, heartache, whatever those muscles are, you're working them. Let's see. I've got some audio to jump into. I just want to take a minute to catch up. That's it. That's it, man. Um, I don't know if you got. Oh, you know what? Let me take you through. Let me do some more personal stuff while we wait for some people to get in here. Look at this street with the old Spanish moss. Absolutely incredible, right? I'd highly encourage you if you could just take a minute to appreciate nature today, do it. No matter how small or how big. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that fucking street. And when we pulled up on this street, there were people doing photos, maybe like prom photos or something. It's a street meant for love, right? What's up, Jess? Good to see you. Drop it in before your interview. Good luck. Julius, how are you? See, Jess letting us know. She got an interview coming up. I send you whatever energy I can send you. I don't have much to spare. My apologies. I need to use it all right now. All my energy is focused inward into a healing process. I'm on a deep spiritual journey right now. A deep one. One that I don't know. I don't know where this goes, man, but sometimes you just gotta trust God. Unemployed, sucking on a vape, complaining about being a victim. Oh, Fatherson's here. Yeah, we're gonna keep pushing against everything that's happening right now. Well, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Well, there are people like Fatherson who just act subservient. They just become obedient to men that they believe have some kind of power, and they just yes them. They are called yes men. They just say yes, everything's awesome, sir. Yes, everything's awesome, sir. And I feel kind of unfortunate for those people because they don't see the worth in standing up for themselves. They think their value is in how rigidly they can conform to society and how much pain and suffering and punishment they can tolerate while wealthy people continue to extract their worth from them. And this channel will never do that and never be complacent with the people who allow that. because it takes a lot of people to allow what's going on to happen. Um, Home moving solutions. Hey, bro, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. But so just so you know, if you're new here, look at this. This is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I really love this statue. Didn't even know it was there. Absolutely humbling. But before we get to audio, how's everybody else doing? I know the people who are complicit, they never had no bad days, right? They're complicit, no bad days. Nate Kalim, where was what? Uh, this is down in Florida. Hopefully you know who that is. Hopefully you know who that is. Hopefully. Coffee or tea? Nate, what do you prefer? Me specifically, I love a good tea, man. I love a good tea. But to each their own. It's all plants, baby. It's all plants. All right, let's get into some of this. Donald Trump. This is so funny. Now, America has fully lost the plot because this nonsense, who gives a shit? Here's my official take. Who cares? If you haven't seen what, hold on, let me find the White House pictures. If you haven't seen what the White House looks like, this is from like Yahoo News a day ago. There's the UFC setup, and there's the destruction of what was it, the East Wing? If this is just a beautiful metaphor for what America is right now, a bunch of diversion tactics. Hey, look over here. Don't don't look at this. Hey, don't mind what's going on back here. Just focus on the flashy American flag thing. Just look at that and be content. Hilarious. Uh Here's Donald Trump saying he'll maybe never take this off the front lawn. Never. I mean, that thing, chef's kiss. Look at that thing. That is a feat of architecture. And of course, he compares it to the Eiffel Tower because, people will come from all over the world to take a picture of a octagon because you can't set those up just anywhere, right? Hold on, let me turn this up. This is fucking hilarious. I love how stupid our president is. Paris, France, the Eiffel Tower, 1889 it was built, was supposed to be taken down immediately after the World's Fair. Then they said, we sort of like it. Let's leave it up a little bit longer. And then they said, let's leave it up longer and longer and longer. Well, they never took it down. And, we're building something in front of the White House that's quite attractive to a lot of people. It's going to have the big UFC fight on June 14th. And I'm looking at it and maybe we'll never ever take it down. Oh, no. Now, hopefully, you don't chomp on that bait. Who cares if they don't take it down? I say keep it up forever as a solemn remembrance of what America used to be and the spectacle shit show it is now. Um, he's acting like it's the Coliseum 100%. Um, Good to see you, Cage. Good to see you. Sorry, I wasn't looking. And Nate chooses coffee. All right, coffee or tea. Nate, you drink that coffee black? That's the only way to have it, buddy. 1 second. Come on. Come on, go lay down. All right. Daddy Ilo, I think we can all agree that based on the way White House grounds look, no matter what Donald Trump did, he cannot have a nuclear weapon. True. And guys, I wouldn't argue with the people that are talking about being unemployed or what, like their whole job is to try to detract. Who, because my take is who gives a shit if you're unemployed or employed or self-employed or just a criminal or a white collar criminal. Those are very popular right now. Um, it's absolutely hilarious the weight. You see these got to be young heads, right? The weight they put on it. And ironically enough, hold on, I got some what's his face? Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon. I don't think I took a picture of him. Oh well. You know what Tim Dillon looks like. Fat Irish dude. Even bums have thumbs. There we go. I like that. Here's Tim Dillon talking about why Gen Z won't work. I don't completely disagree with it. Uh, so we'll comment through this video.
Some of them have figured out that the country's a scam. And here's the good news. They're not wrong. And when you figured out the country's a scam, you can approach it the way a con artist or a scammer would approach it.
When you hear me say act accordingly, that's what I mean. Act accordingly. If they're trying to scam you out of something, if they're gaslighting you, if they're lying to you, act accordingly.
Which is what a lot of them do. They invent mental health ailments they don't have.
That's the one thing I would not agree with Tim, where he's saying they invent mental health illnesses. I couldn't imagine being raised in this temperature. The slow boil of a frog temperature is what kids are being raised in, just gradually um, trying to normalize the worse and worse and worse effects of capitalism. And that's really what you see going on. I mean, if you were graduating high school right now, it went from like you might be able to own a home, you got to be a white collar criminal, to oh no, you will have no home. You will rent from Palantir, and that's if they don't shut your digital money off. And kids just have to adjust to this. So I would say the stress of that, the stress of a life that doesn't exist anymore, and your nostalgia for something you never got to experience is absolutely going to give you. I mean, just look at, I forget what the percentage is, but a lot of mental health issues stem from poverty, from not having your basic needs met. And I'm not talking about like the more serious ones, but there is a lot of depression or mental health issues that come from just basically not having your needs met. Not where you're knowing where your next meal is coming from, not knowing if you're going to keep your shelter, not knowing um if you can continue to work to be able to see a doctor, not knowing if you can afford to see a doctor if something happens to you. That is mental stress that doesn't need to exist, doesn't exist in most of the industrialized world. But here in America, it's not only become normalized, but you see people, even people that are, in the comments, which again, chat, I would just ignore some of these people. They're just spewing nonsense. They're bad faith actors trying to distract you. So I said lost the plot. This dude's lost the plot. You know, he don't like anybody. He fucking just wants to tear everybody down. And he'll actively seek anything and any means necessary to make you question anything. But what he doesn't know is I'm a fucking force to be reckoned with. That's the one thing he doesn't get. But his small peen intellect will one day teach him this lesson. One day. So Tim Dillon, these people are just getting, doing this for clips. But it just sucks that he's like saying Gen Z is creating mental health. It's like, bro, they can't move out on their own unless they have 40 roommates. You try fucking enjoying life like that.
They take days off on end. They terrify their superiors into respecting their mediocre, shoddy quality of work. This is something that Gen Z has latched onto. This is something that I fully support. This is their way of rising through the ranks. They're taking advantage of people that they work with. And
You know what's so funny? He's just describing capitalism. Like if he wasn't talking about workers and he was talking about the management and the owner class, if Tim Dillon is just describing how companies have operated, there's no reward. They get to take all the days off. They will just switch things. They're just kind of taking advantage of people. They're like, oh yeah, work really hard, and then you can get to this thing. Oh no, 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 wait, we got to interview a bunch of people, and then we'll do a different hire. And that's what capitalism has done, and all these kids are doing is going, well, if that's how it's going to be, act accordingly. What's up, Sardion? Good to see you. Yeah, people pay their taxes for much worse than I don't know what.
And making them tolerate less and less work and work of a lower and lower quality because they've realized that a lot of this is bullshit. So they're like, why shouldn't I get in on it?
Uh, that's so depressing. You know, they realize a lot of it's bullshit, so they think, why should I get in on it? Why shouldn't I jump in on it? Um, oh, that's what he was saying. Social safety nets are a joke. I'm supposed to pay taxes to support this guy. Um, that's so funny. We could go into like how most social safety nets have been cut, so your taxes aren't actually going to that. They're going to Donald Trump's war. Um, that's where the majority. That's why you're paying taxes. They're not for social safety nets. But the other humor in that, I want you to think this has to be, you know, somebody from outside the United States just cosplaying as a patriot. Because anybody who's like, man, social safety nets, the food programs that keep old people and young people from starving, the programs that help the vulnerable are a waste, is not very American. You know, I really want to be clear on that. When you hear people talk about social safety nets being a waste because kids should starve. It really reminds me of what was it, Howard Zinn's book. I forget who it was. There was this one capitalist in the one of the beginning chapters of the book where he talked about how they need to start a school for labor for kids 3 to 10 or something. It's in the book. This notorious ultra uber capitalist was like, we really need a school. These are wasted years, these 3-year-olds not knowing how to toil in the mines. And that was the mindset, you know, and you see some of these people um, exhibiting that. Maybe they're reincarnated and they just haven't learned their lesson. That's what I'm guessing it is. Either that or there's from somewhere outside the US sent to infiltrate uh, diversion tactics, like I've said many times, because that's nuts. Again, the hypocrisy of this era will never be lost on me for how many people can believe that they're a true red-blooded patriot because they eat fucking ground beef and not because they love supporting their communities and the people that make this America. Um, Without the people, it would just be a fucking landmass, you know, be a bunch of empty Walmarts. It's so funny. Surveillance centers. Yeah, that's this dude is so angry. It's so crazy. Hey, because I think this might be the last time I kind of address you. What I suggest you do is make a short video. You're on YouTube. You have a channel. Make short videos. You know, you can clip me and make a short video. Why should I support this loser? You know, because I know you think you come off as, I don't know, confident and intellectual, but really you sound like a petulant fucking tyrant toddler, you know, just exercising your fucking dismay that people dare talk bad about this regime that you so love. The craziest part of the news today with Bill Poot, Bill Poof, I know this was like news yesterday or whatever, but like this dude was on Twitter or probably still on Twitter, right? This dude is on Twitter and he gives away money. He like helps people in need, which is just uh what do you call it? Laundering his image. He's just laundering his image. That's all this Bill Poot dude is. He's a 36-year-old Nepo baby. He hasn't worked a day in his life. So if you want to address somebody who hasn't worked, this guy just woke up rich because his grandfather owned a massive, massive real estate company or something along those lines. And I thought it was fascinating watching this dude, give like $1,000 here of not his money. Again, he did not earn any of his money. Very in line for the Donald Trump regime. This is not based on merit or any kind of fucking uh, intellectualism or experience. Like it's based on nothing. That's what this article uh, in the Atlantic is talking about today. But I just thought it's funny that, some of these people that will be hyper focused on the working class not being lazy are not focused on the people who just woke up rich. Woke up rich at about noon. Just thought I had to be on Twitter soon. What is that song? That's Easy E, right? That's gotta be that's Easy E. I haven't heard that fucking ever. Hold on. Woke up quick at about noon. Just thought I had to be in Compton soon. Boys in the Hood. Jeez, how do I forget that? That was Boys in the Hood. Oh my God. Can I play that? I can't play that on this. YouTube's gonna ding me. Is this maggot dumbass Trump supporter in the comments for real, or is it a Russian bot? George, I've been saying it's just a Russian bot. It's this dude who comes in here every day being like, "You don't have a job. You're not worth anything." Just ignore him. Just ignore him. Let him yell at the wall. He's got nowhere to be, nothing to do. He's like this guy. He just reminds me of this dude. His grandpappy was rich. His dad was rich. It makes him rich. So he's just got to figure out how to fight this culture war. He's really just got to uh things are going good for these people, because their old money compounds. So when their old money compounds, all they got to do is maintain the status quo. And if they can squeeze a little more blood from the rock, they'll do that too. Don't worry. If they can figure a way to squeeze some blood from the rock. So they love seeing these little peasants in the comments. They love seeing the peasants doing the work for them because they're like, "Hey man, if we can get an army out there calling working people lazy, let's do that." They don't look at us. Don't look at me, Bill Poot, who's never worked a job in my life outside of the one I was born into, being my daddy's son and very rich. Um, you know, that's not lazy. Being born rich isn't lazy. Not being born rich and struggling to afford food is lazy. That's it. That's it. It all makes sense now. These are the status quoers. Uh, get a life. I like that. Sardion. We used to say that in the 90s. Every one of the first 5,906 father sons were fine. What happened to you? What happened to you? Live a life. I like that. What's up, Frankenberry? What do you do at our YouTube, man? Shouldn't you be working? Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just again, these people have lost the plot. You know, you weren't born so the fucking Pope could tell you, go get a good job, son, and one day you might rent your own place too. You won't just stay at your parents where they rent. You might rent one day too. Like, that's not the fucking point of life. And I'm sorry that that's where their minds go. I'm sorry that you gotta. I allow it to be tolerated in the comments. If they say a slur mod, drop them the fuck out of here. But that's here's the truth that you can see through history. There are people that limited that they just think I wake up, I work, and I go home. And one day I die, and hopefully in between, nothing too traumatic has to teach me a lesson where I have to think outside of myself. And that's the extent of their brain. That's it. They can't see nothing else, feel nothing else. And anybody who doesn't fall into that ants marching line that they are so well familiar with scares the fucking life out of these people. That's what you're seeing in the comments. This is why it doesn't bug me. Because I couldn't imagine, what have we been on for 25? I couldn't imagine for 25 minutes telling somebody to get a job. You know what I mean? Like, when you really think about that, it is kind of fucking magical that dude, like, bro, you should find a job because we all know you don't have one. This is why it probably harkens right back into your soul. You should find a job where you just go on the street and yell at people who don't have jobs. You know, if that pays, I'm sure Palantir probably has that somewhere as a job description. You should do it because you're doing it for free right now, and it's kind of pathetic. Rob's place, where bums with thumbs go to boof the truth. The only struggle I have is with these brainwashed fake faux beta males. Yeah. What's up, Jennifer? How are you? OMG. Get a job doing what? Yeah. Could you be a little more listen, if you're going to come in here and hate on us so hard, could you be a little more specific? What do you want me to get a job doing? Protecting the manatees? You know? Feeding dolphins? What do you want me to have a job doing? Planting trees? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. But again, it's so, these people are so one-dimensional. You have to deal with them at work. You deal with these people that are in the comments at work, they just don't say it out loud all the time. It seeps out in other ways. Just remember that, folks. Remember that. Be like, oh, these people are one-dimension brained. Anybody who said Donald Trump is playing 5D chess have a one fucking dimension brain. And that's just the truth of it, you know? They think if everybody would just get back to work and keep their head down, everything would be fine. You know, they've ignored history, they've ignored signs in their own life, they've ignored everything to think the world just centers on see what I'm doing, just do what I'm doing, and you'll be able to eat egg every morning. And they can't understand the complexities of the world. And that's really a lot of Americans, you know, and it's very unfortunate. It's super sad too, because they just think, well, I'm fine, you know, like you just work hard like I did, you know, and then everything be all right. And they don't understand that there are people in different scenarios that didn't get to grow up and fucking live at their parents' house and, you know, buy a house when they could finally move out. You know, there's all these different scenarios people have. I've just encountered it since a very young age, so these people um, don't bother me. I kind of feel bad for them. I'm just really grateful to God. All praise to God in this one that He didn't give me some stupid fucking one-dimensional 1D brain where I think I was put on this planet to work. That's it. My job here is to just work. And one day I'll die and people will say hard worker. You know? Like, holy shit. Imagine having that take on life, you know? Go for a long stroll with somebody, looking up at the moon, and they ask you, what do you think the point of life is? And you're like, well, I know, I gotta get up in the morning. It's to work. Shit, man. I feel bad for those people. You feel very bad for those people. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. Oh, I want to read some of this Bill Pute, whatever, however you say his last name. I gotta read some of this for you. This is the Atlantic article. Garbage collectors are the real ones. If they don't clean after you, it's gonna get stinky everywhere. Yeah, you ever seen the sanitation strike in New York of the 70s? That shut a city down. Um, 1D brain, steal it, own it, take it. It's not mine. Um, all right, what Trump wants from Bill Pooty. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I'm going to read some of this. President Trump's critics would have you believe that William John Poot, the director of Federal Housing Finance Agency, is not qualified to serve as the director of national intelligence because he's not. The job that Trump gave him on an acting basis this morning. They correctly noted that Poot, the heir to a home construction company, that's what it is, not real estate, home construction company. He's just an heir. He's a fucking heiress. This dude is an heiress. That's it. He was just born rich enough to not have to do anything, to be like, oh man, I should really meddle in fucking the nation, disguising myself as a patriot. uh, so Poot, the heir to a home construction company, has no background in national security. And that's why he would be seemingly disqualified from serving as the nation's most senior intelligence official on the grounds of not only common sense, but also the law, which requires the DNI have extensive national security experience. I'm guessing his resume says, my daddy, my daddy has a construction company. And that's it. This dude does not have. Oh, the cat. Hold on. He has absolutely no national security. Well, he probably has the clearances, but no experience in that field. He comes from, he's an heir of a construction company, and now he's directing all multi-billion. What the fuck? Why is it blocking me from reading the rest of this? Oh, man. Hold on one second. Hey, duty. No. Come on, man. Come on, man. I got hairs cut too. Oh, good on you. Audrey, good to see you. Okay. So, oh, sorry. Where's okay, so here's some more of this. I'm glad I took a picture. No one imagined that Trump would replace Tulsi Gabbard uh with someone better qualified. But Bill Poot, managed to defy even those low expectations. This is fucking nuts. You see the hypocrisy built into this? You know, a construction, his grandfather owned a construction company, is probably a billionaire, has no national security experience, and is now running all of the intelligence agencies. He's the director. This guy who's 36 and his experience is like, I saw my granddaddy build houses and it made me very rich and eat from a silver spoon, is now in charge of everything. When Mark, I'm not trying to read that last name, read the news on X this morning, he said, quote, I thought it was a joke, the retired CIA officer told me. And then my phone blew up with messages from former colleagues, some of them outraged, some of them despondent. We were nearly all worried about the possibility of a highly weaponized DNI, Director of National Intelligence. Some, myself included, also thought this was designed to get rid of the Office of the National Director of National Intelligence. This is fucking crazy. Wait, Raygun, you worked for Poop before? I didn't really work, but they paid me. That's how you do it. Don't worry, they weren't really working either, you know? Just money being passed around. Just as perfect for this job than Big Balls was at the Doge department. Oh my god, I forgot about Big Balls. Subcontracting insurance BS. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, the Poot company. Hold on. Poot Homes. Let's find out. 23.3, no, 22.31 billion is what their market cap is. Yo, so this dude was just fucking born rich. Founded in 1950 by his daddy's daddy. Absolutely disgusting that instead of I mean, it's par for the course. Big balls, Doge. But instead of finding someone that should really oversee things, what they're doing, and this is why this pisses me off. Boot appointment article. I really wanted to read. Not gonna be able to. Yahoo. Yahoo always comes through with copying somebody else's work and reposting it. I love Yahoo. Senate Democrats are threatening to block an extension of a controversial spy powers law if the White House refuses to withdraw its appointment of Bill Pulte, whatever his name is. I don't want to read about that. They're trying to block something so he doesn't. Listen, there is no like. Democrats have widely objected to Putin taking over DNI, which oversees the nation's 18 intelligence agencies. Yeah, that guy. That guy. Hold on, let's put up the. This dude is meant for intelligence, right? He's got the body for it. He's got that old fucking uh Hoover. He's got that Hoover build, you know? That's how Donald Trump hires people. He doesn't look at their resume, he looks at their stature. He's like, all right, is that guy 5'6"? Got a fucking belly like a fucking pig on him? White as the fucking snow, white as the driven snow. You got the job, buddy. You look the part. Now just play it. That's all this is. This is reality TV. Um, so Billy Poot is going to head the nation's 18 intelligence agencies. They pointed out to his lack of experience on intelligence and mission military issues and his history of investigations targeting the president's perceived enemies as director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency. Um, so it's everything Trump's looking for. Hold on, the story continues. Okay. We don't need a weaponized DNI, somebody told reporters Tuesday. Everything is weaponized, though. They're literally starting anti-weaponization funds while they're weaponizing the government. As acting DNI, Poot can remain in the post for a few months without needing Senate confirmation. Though people familiar with the situation told Bloomberg that he is intended to be a placeholder in the role until a full-time nominee is chosen. Yo. While in the spy chief role. He was top spy in the world. That's basically what that role is. Because him heading up all 18 intelligence agencies means they're funneling all the information to him, giving him a report. He's in charge of reporting to him. And none of that's going to go on. They're going to be like, give us the goods on the woke radicals who want healthcare. And that's it. Oh, is Smoking Blondie here? Sorry, I've missed. Smoking, what's up? Good to see you. Somebody saying Freddie Mercury? And they all, Nightshade, good to see you. And they all report to Israel. And that's it. Um, did you see that report that Donald Trump was screaming at Netanyahu, saying like, it wasn't for me, you'd be in fucking jail. Yeah, we can all dream, man. Smoking. Rob, how are you doing today? I'm in a spiritual battle, a psychological and spiritual battle. But it's okay. You know, I'm still here. I'm walking through the pain. I'm walking through the fire. And you know, hold on, what's lies? Ooh, his song's going live. I'm sorry, embrace the pain. Yeah, that's the hardest part. The hardest part of stuff is embracing the pain, sitting alone with it and just understanding it's a pain that you have to endure. That's it. That's part of life, man. I'm grateful to God. Let's just say that. And
The fire rises.
yes, we always need to hear that.
The fire rises.
Amen. Oh man, I'm so mad that that article cut me off. I read it earlier about Bill Poot. Um, But here was another really devastating thing I was listening to earlier. I'm going to put this up. This is United Health, a denial letter. And this is comedian Blake Wexler sharing his story. And I encourage more people to share their stories because this should be unacceptable to every American. This should be unacceptable to every human that has their humanity about them. Unfortunately, it's not. I don't know what it is, but somehow in America we got divided over babies having health care. Weird, you know, especially because that group that, think the moment of inception is a life does not give a shit once that baby's born. It's just a weird take.
So my wife and I just got a letter from United Healthcare telling us that they're denying coverage for a twin stay in the NICU. And if you thought that was inhumane, you're right. But listen to this. They didn't address it to me or my wife, like human adults. They addressed the letter to the baby.
He's showing this.
Sadly, I guess it is appropriate that our preemie baby's first experience in the world is having its healthcare coverage denied. I guess my only other question for United Healthcare is that if the baby was still in the womb, would you have sent the letter to my wife and had her eat it in order to get it to the baby?
Denying a baby health care, denying the coverage that they've been paying. You pay for this your whole life. You pay into a system that then turns around when you most need it and tells you to go yourself. It's horrific. But I'm glad that guy could see the humor in addressing United Healthcare. They didn't want to go find out what the baby girl twin A's name was. They were just like, listen, man, could you please get this to baby girl twin A in room yada, yada, yada? This is fucking nuts, man. That was probably an AI generated letter and decision to not cover something. Yeah. Well, we know United Healthcare specifically uses AI to create their denials because what they found is people with even the littlest shred of humanity tend to see the faults in this system. Mangione Robinson 2028. Toxic Audrey. Complaining about how our society makes life harder for those in the lower incomes is what makes our society great. Addressing and fixing the issues by drawing attention to them. Yeah. And this is an issue, you know. I don't care whose baby it is, no baby should be denied from a hold on. How much is let's find out. Find out how much Bill Poot is worth. How much is United Healthcare worth? Okay. So Bill Poot, the rich kid who is in charge of uh, national intelligence right now, was only worth 22 billion. United Health Group is worth 346 billion. Is that like a rainy day fund? I can't figure out what they need that money for. I really can't. Like it's so much. I'm like, who need if if you're a healthcare group and you're denying people to keep stashing away money, if you're denying not even people, baby girl twin A, to stash some money away, like what is that rainy day fund for? What do you do with all that money? If you kill all these people, like is that money still good? That's really what I would like to know. I'd like to know if like they just get their way and deny everybody health care. Oh, by the way, I want to show you this meme that I highly agree with. There we go. I think health insurance companies should be charged with murder if they intentionally deny a patient a life-saving medication or procedure. If they want to act like doctors, they need to face the consequences. If a healthcare provider does that, we can lose our licenses. I hope this just is par for the course, right? If a doctor denies a life-saving surgery, some shit's going to happen to them. But if an insurance company does it, their market cap just goes up. And again, I can't figure out what the fuck are you going to do with $346.94 billion. Like, what is your plan? Like, what's the plan, man? What is the plan? Are you guys gonna cash out at some point and be like, finally, we can afford that other planet we've been saving for? Like, I don't get that. I just can't even understand it. We need a giant class action malpractice lawsuit. Yeah, but the only lawyers we can afford are AI, and they're not that good yet. When I broke my wrist, I got denied surgery because it was cosmetic. Holy fuck. Frankenberry, that reminds me of, so when I worked at this radio station in Boston, the dude used to have on, and the dude that was the host, he's against universal healthcare. He's like a William Poot, he's just a rich kid who's a MAGA. Um, and of course, I've always thought that people should have access to healthcare, especially in a wealthier nation. But he would always have on one of the Boston marathon survivors from the bombing, and this guy who lost his leg, uh, whenever I forget what year that was. But the guy who lost his leg, he would come in on our radio show like once a year around the marathon thing, and they would raise money in the rich host's charity. They'd say all donations will match right now, to pat himself on the back. Pat yourself on the back for raising the money while you're fighting against this guy just being entitled to not have to humiliate himself and come on, share his story so hopefully people can raise enough money so he can get his prosthetic limb. You know, pat myself on the back for raising the money to graciously give you that prosthetic leg. But as soon as you leave, I will fight against your right as a human to fucking have that technology. So it reminds me of that because the host, I'll never forget one day he's like, "Can you believe that the insurance called this a luxury or a cosmetic?" And I was like, "Yes, I can't. This is why every day I'm like, we should have universal health care. Because if not, you get these insurance companies claiming a prosthetic leg is a fucking luxury, something that this dude's been paying into for a time like this, and they turn around and give him the middle finger." It's quite remarkable. But again, this is the deviancy, the insidiousness of capitalism. That while the wealthy are applauded, they are lauded as heroes of society for their charitable efforts to man. They turn around and ensure that the only way you get your prosthetic leg is through their charitable efforts. And they kind of tether you to them, and we should reject that as a whole. Hopefully that wakes you up to how charity works, because something that's just a right, that healthcare that he's been paying into, the insurance company didn't create prosthetic legs. They're just gatekeeping it. Fuck, man. It's so messed up. I would just ignore fathers that really, like, something's wrong with that dude's brain. Something is seriously wrong with that guy's brain. What were we talking about? I forget. Oh yeah, health insurance. That's right. Because that dude's twin baby daughter A, not B, um, got denied coverage while she was in the NICU. And don't forget,
What you want to do is save hundreds from the.
God damn, so many commercials. Maybe they heard me talking about insurance. Percentage of US adults who identify as MAGA is just 18%. 18 out of 100. We outnumber the fuck out of these people. Don't forget that. They're over half of Republicans, but we outnumber these folks. Hardcore. Hardcore. Hardcore mode. Let's go hardcore mode. Something, something, glass houses. Something, something's throwing stones. Something, something. Sardyon, the trick with The trick with father son is he's never going to feel good. That's why he's projecting that people are complaining about the injustices of the world. So it does not matter. He just won't feel okay because he realizes his brain is a 1D. He's in a 1D brain, one-dimensional brain, and he can't even fathom conversation, you know? What's up, Global Solidarity Now? How are you? Good to see you. I think we're just taking a halftime in the live stream. Can you guys hear this music or no? No music? Okay. Sorry. I got it on in the background. Quarter D brain. That's kind of funny. Most are unemployed because of AI. Yeah, we talked about that. The fucking what was it, the white collar PhD people getting replaced by AI because they trained the AI to understand what they paid, probably a couple $100,000 and spent years and years at school for. And then AI gobbled it all up and got them all fired. Yeah. That's why whenever you see like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or anyone go on TV talking about like how AI is going to make your life awesome, it's like, well, when does that start? Or is that just the line? When does that start? I'd really like to know. Because right now all we can see is AI ruining society, IT isn't hiring as much as it was pre-AI. Yeah, those were the first ones to go. Ballroom isn't injustice, it's salvation. Oh no, you're out of weed? Not good, man. Me too, Prez. All right. Let's look at some. Oh, look at this. Before I let you read down here, I thought this was my kind of humor. If you draw a line connecting all of them, they form a triangle, right? And then you see the internet doing its thing. That, my friend, is exactly the question you have to ask. And then someone goes, it just means that this is one of the best ways to pile up rocks and not have them all fall down. Fucking brilliant. Meteorologists and climate scientists are panicking from lack of funding. Yeah, I found that kind of scary too. The defunding not only well, it's health and sciences. Yeah, he's trying to make the post office a private monopoly. That's been a long journey. Here's some beauty. Let's go back to a little bit of beauty. This was a rad moment taking this picture. I find the world a terrifying place these last few months. Frankenberry, you're not the only one. You're not alone in that. And when you think about just over the past few months, the acceleration that has happened, right? It doesn't get better. It does not get better, man. Oh, come on. Stop with all the fucking ads. I want to check something. Mm-hmm. What time is it? Ooh, Hassan's on. Let's see what the fuck he's talking about.
In any case, we're going to get to all of that and more in a brief moment. But there's some hope. There's some hope in California as well. But obviously, Adam Hamawi wins. California W's and L's. Trump slush fund ended. Epstein's Fury Day 96. War's back on. Fapped up in the news. They really want me dead. Get in now. Twitch.tv. Slap.
Oh, yeah. Pay attention to what was going on in the California race. Let's see. Election updates. Wait, what? No. I think this is just different news. What the hell? All party primary. Steve Hilton. Attorney General. Controller. Lieutenant Governor. I don't want to know all the little fucking parties. Give me the key stuff, man. No, Steve, what? That's Steve Hilton too early to call for the primary. That isn't that dude British? Like I heard him speak. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that dude is British. Tom Steyer. Looks like he's coming in third. Turns out money can't buy everything. You gotta get. Where's that Spencer Pratt dude? That's what I want to find out. Is Pratt still, or was he not running against anyone after successful LA? Oh, we already knew he was going to face. Oh, either Spencer Pratt or Nithya Raman on November 3rd. It's fucking crazy. America is choosing to just have reality shows, TV stars represent them. It's one big, huge Truman Show. Reality shows, TV stars, which are versed in the facade of like, performance. Nothing's real. Creating issues out of nothing to give you a thorough plot line to follow. That's so fucking bananas, man. What is wrong with America? We really have reality show brain. I think that's what it is. I love how Audrey and Frankenberry are taking care of the chat. It's very matriarchal, and I appreciate that. And don't answer any of his questions. When somebody demands for you to answer questions, ask him, what are you, a fucking Fed? Get out of here. Don't answer none of his questions. He's a Fed. I like they're handling it with love. This fucking dude. Yo, can I tell you some thoughts I had? We'll have a halftime. So I was thinking, imagine, because his birthday's coming up, right? That's why he's doing this whole, worship me. What is it? Is the music festival canceled? Was he throwing? He was having the UFC fight and something else. What was the music fest? 250? Is that thing canceled? Controversy surrounding the Freedom 250 Great American State Fair. Multi-day festival celebrating the United States' 250th birthday. However, soon after the initial 9-act music lineup was announced, featuring veteran acts like Bret Michaels, Martina McBride, and the Commodores, over half the musicians withdrew. Oh my God. This is so funny. We have to listen to this. Imagine that. You're like, all you want for your birthday is some fucking cool music festival. And you announce it, and all of them are like, man, we ain't coming to your fucking birthday. We ain't doing that shit. Watch yourself, man. Don't put my name on that. That's fucking hilarious.
Are set back tonight for one of the marquee events meant to celebrate the country's 250th birthday right here in our nation's capital. Yeah, the Great American State Fair will be held in the National Mall starting next month. Its aim is to showcase the culture and heritage of all 50 states. Earlier this week, the organizer of the fair, Freedom 250, announced what it called the first wave of musicians set to perform during the 16-day event. But then, within 24 hours, more than half of those performers announced that they would not.
Hold on. So Bret Michaels canceled. Commodores, I figured. Martina McBride, Morris Day, I knew that. Young MC. So Vanilla Ice, Milli Vanilli, Flo Rida, and CNC Music Factory. We're like, that's a good gig. We're gonna stay. We're gonna play this. Okay.
Be attending. News Force Dominique Moody joins us live tonight. Dominique, what have we learned?
No. Respect to Dominique Moody for that kind of last name and being in the news or on the news or reporting the news. Give it to us, Moody. What's your Moody moment?
And we know that when that concert lineup was made public, there were several well-known.
God damn. All right. I got to coach this dude. I'm going to have to coach this guy through it. You hear how soft he came in? Your name is Dominique Moody. You fucking come in with a big frown and you go, this ain't making me too happy. I'm feeling a little moody. And then you go, and then you jump into your thing. I'm going to teach Dominique. I'm going to coach you, man. If you don't know Dominique Moody, he is on NBC4 Washington. Catch him, because once I coach this boy, he's going right to the top. NBC1 Washington. I'm guessing that's the top. I don't know. But we're going to coach Dominique Moody through this. We're going to get this man some serious airtime. They're going to be like, we need to cut back to Dominique in his moody moment. Tell us what's going wrong in the streets, Dominique.
And we know that when that concert lineup with.
God damn, man, you're so timid. Where's your confidence? You need a bright fucking color, too. Don't wear that white shirt out there, man. Come on. Throw on like a pastel green, and maybe a cool hat. Some sunglasses. I want some Dominique Moody, don't you? I wish I had a photo of him for you. Because this man has it all. He has the pizzazz. He's just utilizing what God gave him wrong. That's all that's going on here. Fuck. I got to reach out to Dominique. Be like, you need a life coach. You do not fucking have that kind of name and enter into the news chat like this.
And we know that when that concert lineup was made public, there were several well-known artists like the Commodores and Bret Michaels who were set to perform. But then after that announcement, they then came out and said that they will not be making an appearance.
That's it from Dominique Moody? Bro, your last name is Moody. Chop that shit up. Be like, the Commodores, and then fucking hit one of them dance moves. You know what I mean? Hit one of the dance moves on camera, turn around and said, wait, what was the biggest Commodore song? I'm going to really teach this young blood. What's up, Commodores? No, Commodores. Let's see. Everybody knows Commodores. What's their biggest song? Easy. Oh, shit. That's easy, man. You fucking hit the spin, like you hit the Commodore spin, okay? Are you listening to me, Dominique Moody? When he says, and the Freedom Fest 250 was announced, they said, we got the Commodores. And then he fucking spins around, he goes, but it ain't easy like Sunday morning, apparently. Because they said, you're going to have to pay us in a brick house to perform at that show. You know, like chop it up, Dominique. I don't want to fuck you. You already made me click off, bro. Where is Dominique? God damn.
24 hours after the Freedom 250 Great
Is this Dominique doing a narration piece too? God damn. You figure with a microphone you get a little sassier, but no. His last name is doing him no favors right now. He should be Dominique Monotone. Fuck.
American State Fair concert lineup was announced.
I've changed this man's name. His name is now not Dominique Moody. It is Dominique Monotone. Because you're giving me nothing to work with, bro. I don't want to even watch these fucking images. Where do you want to go? Hold on. I'm going to let the cat out. I like Zoom. What's up, Voided? Staffelson, good to see you here. Jess, my comfort human. Always good to have you here. Maggie can come out of the closet. We know they're just DL dudes waiting to service somebody. Hold on. All right. What you want to do? Go ahead. All right, what were we talking about? Dominique Moody? So anyways, this is Dominique Moody. This is his news piece. I'm very disappointed in him. If you know Dominique Moody, please let him know. He's really not living up to the name.
Musicians took to social media to state that they would not be performing. The performances were scheduled to
You just featured Young MC Bust the Move. And you don't say like, and Young MC would not be busting a move there. You know, give us something. Give the people something, man. Life sucks right now, Dominique. Nobody fucking can afford egg, bro. Gas is like 100% more than it was a few months ago. Everybody does not want this UFC fight. Even the people featured in the goddamn Festival of America are canceling. Give us the spice, Dominique. Please, man.
take place between June 25th and July 10th on the National Mall as a part of the country's 250th birthday.
This momentous anniversary year. That's what it is. It's a momentous year.
Freedom 250 was launched last year by President Trump and says it is a nonpartisan organization. Some of the artists set to perform included Young MC and Morris Day.
These musicians have a moral center. They're following their ethical beliefs.
They have the right to. I feel like what they believe in.
But on Thursday and early Friday, both American rock artist Bret Michaels and country singer Martina McBride issued these statements. Michaels writing, "Unfortunately, what was presented to us as a celebration of our country has evolved into something much more divisive than what I agreed to be a part of." McBride also issued this statement that reads in part, "I was presented with an opportunity to perform at a nonpartisan event, but that turned out to be misleading. Freedom 250 declined our request for an on-camera interview, but
Why would they do that? You know, that's always a little suspect. They're like, yeah, they declined to talk about any of this shit. They don't want to have to tell you that they were pitching something. It's the old what's it called? Bait, switch and bait. I forget what that term is called. Bait and release? No, catch and release. The old bait and switch. I got it. I got it. It's the old bait and switch. They're like, hey, man, you want to celebrate all the 50 states or you hate America? And they were like, all right, fuck it, we'll do it. They were like, just kidding. It's a Donald Trump birthday party. They were like, we're out.
did issue this statement to News 4, saying, quote, "We respect the rights of any artist to make their own decisions."
This is so stupid. Everybody's just talking about how everybody has the right to make their own decision. Is this where we're at in America? Where it's a bunch of news coverage of like, yeah, man, artists should have the right to make their own decisions. Yeah, companies should have the right to make their own decisions. Meanwhile, the real story is like they were lied to and nobody gets accountable. It's just all about everybody's got the right to make their own decisions. Yeah, they get the right to lie to you. and then fucking have faced no accountability. My Christ. My Christ. And the news is just like, we're just gonna read the statements of everybody being able to make their own decision. Come on, Damian Moody, give us a little bit of fucking op-ed here. You know, be like, and if you're gonna ask my Moody opinion on this, I think no shit, everybody's got the right to make their own decision. Something deeper's going on. And you're gonna have to tune in for my Moody moment later this week when we figure it out. Fuck, I want so much for this man. I want so much for this. I want this boy to fucking own NBC at some point. This timid little boy. I want him to see that his last name can fucking elevate him to the stars. Does anybody else see that with Dominique Moody, whatever the fuck his name is? Yeah, this live stream goes out to Damian Moody, Dominique Moody. I keep calling him. Okay. Oh, what's up, Charlie Kelly? What's up? What's up, Charlie Kelly? Charlie Kelly, if you missed it, I don't have a photo of him, but we were listening to Dominique Moody live from NBC4 Washington, and then his recorded piece. And I thought, you don't get to have a last name like Moody and not fucking sass the news up. You want everybody in Washington greater area to be thirsting for a Moody moment, you know? We want him getting on sassy, fucking doing a Commodore spin, calling it easy like Sunday morning. Good God, man. This guy's got so much potential, he doesn't even see it.
And our doors remain open to any performer who wants to be a part of honoring 250 years of American freedom, culture.
Freedom for who? Freedom for who? I question this statement. We respect the rights of any artist to make their own decisions, and our doors remain open to any performer who wants to be a part of honoring 250 years of American freedom. All right, they did say American freedom, which means blacks, women, kids, old people, poors need not apply. But listen, if you're like a rich white dude, if you're an heir to a fortune, and you own property and you could vote back then, congratulations on that 250 years of freedom. The rest of us are still fighting for it, okay? But we're proud of you, you know? You did something that's always been done, and that's not nothing. Okay?
And unity. Fatma Van from the pop group Milli Vanilli says he will perform, writing a
Yeah, because he's in Milli Vanilli. Oh shit, he's performing. He's like, dude, this is probably going to be the redemption arc we've been waiting for, man. He's like, we just can't let the tape skip this time, motherfucker. Like, no shit, Milli Vanilli's. Yes, we figured that. No, there are kids. There are kids in the live stream that are like, Millie, what? You know, I couldn't even tell you the song they did. I probably could, but whatever.
statement that says, in part, I am here to entertain and unite people, not divide them.
You've done enough dividing. Okay.
For those looking forward to celebrating the 250th anniversary, they understand that ultimately the decision to perform is left up to the artists.
And I give them kudos for trying to express themselves.
And Ice Baby.
All right. Here we go. Hold on. We're gonna wrap it up with Damian Moody. I didn't think they're gonna. I didn't think he was gonna throw it back to himself, which is another classic Moody moment. You know, Dominique Moody. I keep calling him Damian. I'm so sorry, Dominique. See, you're so forgettable. So forgettable. We got to fix this for this dude. Man, people are girl, you know it's true. Oh, me and Charlie Kelly could fucking Charlie. You and I need to go out to Halloween together. We'll be Milli Vanilli. I love you, Charlie. Charlie, thank you. Thank you. I love you. Girl, you know it's true. All right, let's watch Dominique Moody wrap up. He threw it to himself. He did the narration, people on the street thing. Now he's throwing it to himself to throw it back to the studio. And let's see how he finishes this little news cut out.
And Ice Baby rapper Vanilla Ice says that he too will be performing. Shine and Erica, back to you.
Oh, come on, man. You couldn't do anything fucking better than that. And the Ice Ice Baby rapper? You could have said, and nothing was too cold for Rob Van Winkle to get him out of restoring Florida homes or some shit, because he'll be there singing that one song and then maybe Go Ninja Go. You know, like, dude, how do I not have this fucking job? Hey, Fatherson, there's a job for me. I just churched up the news so good, people will fucking want to tune in again. My God. Dominique Moody. I wonder if he's on something. Instagram or something. I gotta find him. Reach out and be like, you gotta chop it up, boy. You gotta do better. You gotta do much better. All right. There's people longing for you out in that news atmosphere. And you gotta speak their truth to them.
There are hundreds of thousands of Los Angelinos that are like, we should.
Whoa, Stevelson, thank you for the $49.99 super chat. This is on behalf of Fatherson. Hopefully, witnessing some generosity will inspire him to be a better person, or at least a little less sad. That's freaking amazing, Fatherson. That warms my heart. I'm humbled. I thank you for the super chat, and that was a rad way to super chat. You know, leading by example. It's amazing. Thank you. I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful because I know how hard times are. And I thank you for the 1 gallon of gas. Have you even said thank you to Donald Trump? Well, I'll tell you what, when I was with my brother, we said that so many times. Everywhere we would go, thank you, Donald Trump. Oh man, I miss my brother.
Refused to tackle the homelessness crisis. Because tackling the homelessness crisis requires building shelters, permanent housing, and also expanding on the readily available housing inventory while simultaneously ensuring that the pre-existing housing inventory that goes dormant is utilized. All of that goes against the profit-centered interests of the real estate developers and also landlords. Okay? California refuses to build the necessary housing, refuses to take the necessary actions that they have to take to make sure that the existing inventory is better used. Okay. And this is the reason why there are people constantly getting priced out of the housing market and becoming homeless. And if you don't fix it for decades and decades and decades, and this problem bubbles up, it continues to grow. Of course, inevitably, a right winger is going to come in and be like, the solution is to kill them.
That's kind of like the right wing MO, right? They don't give a fuck. They're just like, let's just make them disappear. It's so heartless, but more importantly, it's very anti-American. You know, America is a community. It's neighborhoods into cities, into states, into a nation. There we go. That's how we dissect that. And in those communities, it's people. And if you don't give a fuck about them, you're anti-American.
Love this idea. They find this idea to be great. Because they see homeless people and they see homeless people as a scary nuisance that must be destroyed.
That is it's so heartbreaking on so many levels because I know people that I love that see that, you know? And if you're in a tougher area of town, you see it more and more often. But it's not that these people, like so many will say, don't want help or you can't help them. It's just the system that they've been operating in for so long has discarded them. This is exactly what you're seeing in the chat. America has co-opted your brain to think. It's like a RFK brainworm. America has really co-opted your brain to convince you that your worth is your work. And if you can't afford a house or something happens where you go homeless, what is your worth? It's nothing. They don't see the humanity in anything. And this is a top-down policy. This is a top-down policy. And it's really sickening because most of these people, you know, could be the next one and will be if the rich people have their way. Be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah. Always money for war, but never for the poor. Tupac. They got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. Yep. I love Pac. I absolutely love Pac. That's a great name. Soup and Poop. Yeah, that's what America's coming to. They're gonna start opening up soup and poops on the side of the highway. You know, stop it, get some soup, and then poop. Thanks, Trump, for the one piece of chicken, one corn tortilla, and one other thing, and piece of broccoli. One piece of chicken, one broccoli, one corn tortilla, and one specialty thing. This is fucking crazy, right? I mean, they literally came out and said that if you're having problems affording things, and people, again, how docile these MAGA Republicans are is bewildering to me. They are really conditioned in a Pavlovian way to just be triggered by like Hillary's emails, Biden, Kamala, trans kids, and men and women's sports. You know, like they are Pavlovian in their fucking lack of understanding the world. They're just waiting for trigger words to get salivating on what they think the issues in America are. And which I'm telling you, maybe I haven't seen a lot of America. Those aren't the issues.
Don't understand that that is a reality that is imminent, that is at their doorstep all the fucking time. Okay? No, it's not a flex. I'm just saying the truth. Okay? Calm down.
Calm down.
Spencer Pratt is far from a full throttle reactionary. There are far worse figures in the Republican establishment. He also does a much better job appealing to the average Democrat voter. Isn't an extreme as many Republicans. Why do you have so much smoke for him? Because he's a fucking dullard. He's an unserious dipshit and a very dangerous entity because he's just going to come in and allow whatever corporate interests that dominate Los Angeles instead of.
But I don't understand. I don't know why Hassan doesn't bring this up. That's who we're listening to. Like, if you like Spencer Pratt, you obviously relate to him, and he just seems so cookie cutter, a very chubby cookie cutter, but cookie cutter nonetheless. Like, that's what I don't understand. Is anybody in California or LA where they're, you know, holding weight for Spencer Pratt? I don't know how to put it. But like every interview I've seen, it's just fucking Heidi Montag's husband from the hills. You know, it's like oh yeah, he's the rich white beach kid that is the very what's it called? When you're generalizing one person, or I mean a people. What's it called? Generalizing. A group of people. What's that word? No, fuck. It's gonna give me. Oh, God damn it. Thesaurus. No. Stereotype. Got it. Stereotypes. Thank you. Shylafins. Primal Screams. Good to see you. Stereotypes. Sorry, I should have looked at the chat. Yes. He's the stereotypical. This is why I love the chat sometimes. Okay, let's be very real. You guys complete me. But that's all he is. He's like the stereotypical LA upper class rich white dude who, again, is so generic It's just, it could have been anybody with that tubby kind of tanned face. It could have just been anybody, man. Like, how the fuck is Spencer Pratt anything besides just a broad sweeping generality of what's wrong with America right now? You know, some rich dude who's like, my house burnt down and it's and I'm running for mayor. You don't burn my house down, nature. This is the space lasers, you know, like he's just a fucking psycho. Um but again, I'm old enough to have seen Spencer Pratt the first time on TV, you know, when he was just Heidi Montag's boyfriend, husband, I don't know. Ah, damn, man. What's with the repulsive pic of DJT? Oh, I'm sorry. Super or Angish? I don't know how to pronounce your name. My apologies. We'll remove it. We'll do some peaceful stuff. I just had it up because, you know, when speaking of the Pratts, I mean, he's Donald Trump Jr. That's it. And it's almost like these people weren't punished enough. It's almost like, well, it's a cult. I think that's what Spencer Pratt's doing. He's trying to run so he can start a cult. He's thirsting for um that late 2000s MTV fame that he got so well acquainted to, where now he's like, God damn, man, I need that. I need that people worship. Uh, is he related to Chris Pratt? There's no way. And that is not a photo of him. That's like a 10-year-old photo. Come on, Chubby Pratt. I want to see Chubby Pratt. He looks like who's the dude in the fucking was that movie? I'm forgetting everything right now. Sandlot. What's the kid's name in the Sandlot? That's who he looks like. Sandlot cast. You know who I'm talking about? Patrick Renna. He looks like Ham. That's what I'm gonna start calling Spencer Pratt. Ham. He looks like Ham from fucking two of music's most powerful executives maxed out donations to Spencer Pratt. I wonder why. Can you people from LA relate to the two most powerful? Oh fuck, it's gonna make me pay. Goddamn LA Times. Give the people the news for free. I hate this. I'll just write who donated. People in LA, can you seriously say you identify with that? You think the two most powerful people in the music business have your same interests in mind? Like, why do you think they're funneling money to him? Why do you think they max out donations? Because they're like, he's going to work for us. Who maxed out donations? I don't want that fucking. Here we go. Hastings Tribune. Did you rip that Times article for me? There we go. Love the internet. Los Angeles music industry in recent years have generally supported progressive causes, but they lean where power is. That's just me saying that. That's not the article. If you think that any industry is progressive or fucking conservative, you get your brain checked. They lean where power is. All industries just lean towards power. That's it. Because where power is, they can get favors, they can have less accountability, they can have less regulations. So that's why if you go to Open Secrets, you'll see a lot of these companies donate red and blue. They lean to where power is. Anyways, I'll read this article. Has generally supported progressive causes, but as the primaries for the city's mayoral race and California's governorship wrapped up Tuesday, some music executives who do not have your best interests in mind, people of LA, they probably don't even live in LA. You know, they have a fucking Bahamian house somewhere in fucking Bali, man. Some music executives and performers have supported and donated large amounts to Pratt. The right-leaning activists. I love how they call these people right-leaning activists. What is he fucking being an activist for? Like less regulation and killing the working class? Like that's not activism, that's fascism. According to data from the LA City Ethics Commission, Pratt supporters include 2 members of the record industry's most powerful family. Ooh, who is that? Donated to the maximum amount allowed by law. Pratt is a registered Republican with a cowboy hat, whose heated rhetoric about homeless zombies and AI-created advertisements have rankled progressives. He's received support from Donald Trump, of course. Donald Trump said, I heard he's a big MAGA person. Oh, so he saw what his chubby face looks like? In response, okay, can we just get to fucking who donated? Universal Music Group is home to some of music's most outspoken progressives. Yeah, because where do you think art isn't fascism, you dolts, you fucking dullards? Olivia Rodrigo, Billie Eilish, Phineas. They donated to Nithya Raman. Oh, wait a minute. Earlier this year, Chairman and Chief Executive Lucius Grain presented Rodrigo with. Oh, who gives a shit? Okay, so it is Lucius Grain. I know that name. There's some deviancy behind there. An $1,800 donation to Pratt's campaign. Grain's son Elliot ascended through the record industry. That's where I know these motherfuckers from. It's great nepotism. That's what we're doing here, folks. Just like Bill Poot, who was just put in charge by Donald Trump of the national intelligence agencies. He doesn't have a resume. He's just born into Poot construction. He's done nothing. He's just a rich kid. Oh shit! Who's giving away Sardyon? Thank you for the memberships. I'm gonna try to do members only live. I'll post about it so we can find out when. Thank you, Sardyon. But let's look up Lucius Grain. So it's Grain and his son Elliot, who again, I love how this article says he ascended through the record industry. No, he fucking did. His daddy. What do you think he's gonna get fired? His dad is Lucius Grain. So that's who. Now we gotta look them up because I totally forget that fucking story that I. Oh God, it's this guy. With a name like Lucius Grange, you should fucking look cooler than that, man. You know? Sir Lucian Grange. Sir. Oh, he's British, so he don't give a fuck what happens in LA. You know? What happened to keep them red fucking coats out of here? MAGA. God damn. This is like when the king was funding the fucking. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I want to see. Yeah. Let's dig a little. The Drake defamation suit, the Diddy lawsuit. Oh, Grange was named in the civil suit by Rodney Jones. Oh, he's a Diddy associate. Executive compensation. Grange has historically faced criticism from industry bodies and British members of parliament regarding his lucrative executive pay. Yeah, well, he's not paying artists. He's pocketing that fucking money that they're making for him. Capitalism. All right, so that's what it is. He's tied to Diddy. That's probably why we talked about him. Interesting. I just remember his son because there was articles about what's his son's name? Elliot. Oh, that's right. He took over Atlantic Music Company and he started Elliot Grange. Doesn't he do music too? I love this fucking Nepo baby. He's got all the confidence of a dude born rich. You know what I mean? That's fucking crazy. He's got an Instagram. I gotta go shout out at him. Like, hey man, go back in your dad's peen. Get the fuck out of here. I appreciate the cuss words. Oh my apologies. I forgot. Sometimes I forget I'm live. I'm just reading shit. Fire Star-Lord. Frankenberry, you know the reason it's all about what's in Rob's pants. Just another dude trying to get in my pants. Jess can sniff that out. Jess knows. And it's so funny too, because I always joke about that too. You know, these dudes that will come in here and be like, take your hat off. Why are you I'm like, are you hitting on me? Are you hitting on me, man? Are you hitting on? Maybe I should put my hat on. They'll stop focusing on jobs and they'll start saying, why don't you take your hat off? I can smell you from here. I go, oh, my gaydar is impeccable. Oh, Jess, I love you. Oh, damn. I knew he was obsessed, but I didn't know it was like that. They do crash Grinder. They do. Wait, breaking. Donald Trump suffered a stroke. Hold on. 2 hours ago. Where is Trump? Why an expert's chilling stroke theory has suddenly surfaced. President Donald Trump has not been at a public event in days. This comes after an expert said he may have had a stroke. Yeah, clearly he had a stroke. We saw all those. What kind of clickbait is this shit, man? I thought it was a new stroke, man. You might have heard of the Strokes. I like the New Strokes. Actually, are the Strokes a pretty good band? I forget. I really couldn't tell you. You're telling me a guy who sounds like this?
Paris, France, the Eiffel Tower, 1889, it was built. It was supposed to be taken down immediately after the World's Fair. Then they said, we sort of like it. Let's leave it up a little bit longer. And then they said, let's leave it up longer and longer and longer. Well, they never took it down.
This sounds like a child telling you a story. You notice that? It's like, and then they were like, we'll just leave it up longer and longer. And it went the longest. It's like, I was just with my nieces and I'm like, dude, he talks like my nieces. And I mean, they are smart for their age, but god damn, they're not 80. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's a little scary. Stephelson, take your shirt off. Yeah, that's Stephelson. That's what the MAGA comment crew. They start with like, oh yeah, what are you, bald under the hat? I can smell you from here. Why don't you take that shirt off? You know, it's like this fucking menagerie of like just yelling subdued erotic comments at me. It's fucking hilarious. Wouldn't it be beautiful if the big beautiful obituary happened during Pride Month? The greatest gayest party ever. Well, Jess, that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, yo, I have this feeling. I don't know what the fuck a feeling is, but I was like, how crazy would it be for his big birthday bash, his Freedom 250 birthday UFC state fair that's happening this month because it's his birthday. I was like, imagine if that's when he kicked it and you could turn the party from a birthday party into an obituary celebration. I was like, because you know how hard they grift, right? They grift hard. They're like, well, it's already kind of set up. We could just turn it into, like, you've seen the Charlie Kirk thing. You know, that goddamn monster truck. Thanks for the memories. Like, you saw how they did with Charlie Kirk. Oh, fuck. I forgot about this news. Oh, yeah. Scott Pelley's out at CBS.
He's claiming that CBS News editor-in-chief Barry Weiss is trying to kill the show. In a staff meeting earlier today, Pelley said, quote, she was brought in to kill it, and she's been doing...
Who the fuck just said that? The gays don't need a Pride Month to get attention all year? Shut your goddamn hole. Do you understand the struggle of the gay community? You don't. So shut your hole. Shut your hole before somebody fills it for you.
Exactly that. Now, Weiss thinks that's ridiculous, and some of Weiss's deputies believe Pelley was being unprofessional and rude in this staff meeting. But here's what's going on. Last fall, Weiss was brought in by Paramount CEO David Ellison to remodel and renovate CBS News.
AKA making it a Zionist stronghold for the Trump regime. That's all. It's happening everywhere. That's why I appreciate Stapleson for the super chat and Sardion for supporting the channel and everybody who's a member and everybody who's hit subscribe, because this is important news vibes that we're doing. I don't technically know what we're doing. I know it's entertainment. We're just kind of fucking around, but it's important. You know, like you'll see like the Fathersons of the world, the maggots of the world, they're not going to do they're not going to show themselves on shorts, live streams, videos. They're not going to contend with the world. They're complacent in their fucking mediocrity, you know? So we need people here pushing the envelopes. That's what history is all about. Garbage human trash panda. I didn't fight for any. You're right. I'm not claiming I fought for the gay community's rights. I'm not claiming. I'm saying you should look it up. You should get a little educated before you fucking mouth off. That's all. That's all. It's usually the least educated that are mouthing off like that. You know, people like what's that fucking dude? The Fed dude that keeps saying some wild shit. Like it's still anybody here talking about like gay rights, which are human rights, and that being the distraction right now, but that being the issue right now when you can witness everything. I mean, just fucking throw a dart and something's wrong with it, you know? But if you think like that's, I can't, I honestly, I can't even, I don't even know how to say like that's the issue. That's what's making all the Trump stuff happen. Like, I can't figure out how their brain works. Mostly because it probably is not working. They're just like, hey man, you know, there's gay people that are existing, and that's really what's going on in the deep state. It's so fucking stupid. It's really like Fox News brain rot. It's so, you know, meanwhile, we're over here like, the fire rises. The fire fucking rises, my friend. Come on. Come on. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Come on. Come on. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. But don't call him that, you know. Oh, again, when I was playing that Donald Trump thing where he's like, maybe we'll never take it down. Where is the picture? I said, fucking keep it up. Keep it up forever. You think I give a shit what this looks like? Dude, you're not going to do much worse than destroying the East Wing, you know? So just, if you see those clickbait articles today of Donald Trump saying like, we might just keep up the UFC octagon forever. It's like, okay. And can you stop doing corrupt shit now? Can you release the Epstein files? You know, that should be the response to all of that. I didn't bring a water down here. My God, man. Is the grift in the room with us? Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Do you see the grift in the room right here now with you? For real, people talk more about gay people than corruption. Yeah, it's I can't understand. I just can't understand it. I'm like, is that what you're seeing in the news? Like, where are you getting this from? It really seems to be like haunting them, you know, because it's like it's not like, you know, the news today isn't like, well, gay pride is happening, so they're never taking this UFC octagon down. Like, well, they had gay pride month last night, and that means the East Wing was torn down in a very anti-American somber moment. You know, I just can't comprehend how it's like always, oh no, 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 I just got it. It's always in their head. They're infatuated. Which, just be who you are. This is why, like, I can't just talk news. I gotta, like, reach out to these people who are scared to embrace the inner gay in them. Like, just do it. Who gives a shit, you know? Put on a Carmen Miranda hat and go dance some salsa. Nobody gives a fuck, man. This is America. If you can't be free to express yourself, what is the point of having freedom? Seriously, you know, what is the freedom in land of the free? I don't get it. I really don't. I've pondered this many times. And I know everybody says nothing's for free, you know, but I'm saying, like, what is the freedom that they're clenching to? They're clenching their tight little butt cheeks to. What is that freedom? I can't figure it out. Yeah, instead of draining the swamp, Trump's draining our wallets. That's the truth.
How many hours were you on last night? I got home from my daughter's birthday dinner and fell asleep at you yelling about turbidert in Lamau. Our city council meeting went until 2:30 about a water desalination plant. And the city is projected to be the first to run out of water in the U.S. With what the hell's going on with this country? Late stage capitalism as we know it. Hell yeah, it's bad.
It is bad. It is bad. But we're in this together, you know?
Turbidert.
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 I don't know what that is, but that's funny.
Dave Rubin get humiliated on Surrounded because I just didn't have time to do that because there's a lot going on in the world, right?
Even called along the way to drop out and save us all the trouble. Well, guess what? The underdog stayed in the fight.
Yeah, bro, you're the underdog.
I forgot about that Dave Rubin thing. Did you guys see the clips of that? The Jeffrey Epstein presidential theme. Fucking Charlie Kelly. I love you so much. I love you so much. This is now known as the Jeffrey Epstein presidential theme park. Oh my God. Leave it up. Donald Trump, I implore you to leave this up. Please. So somebody can hang a banner from it that says the Jeffrey Epstein presidential theme park. Come and take a photo. Oh my God. That's too good. God damn, I love the chat sometimes. White House trash. Yeah. Well, I was saying they all listen, the last thing this photo needs before it's completely White House trash, is those Teslas up on the front lawn again. Remember when they were hucking Teslas on the front lawn? They had them all lined up, and we got the infamous. Hold on, I'll get the clip. You remember the day? Nobody could forget the day. It was one of the funniest days where 80-year-old guy gets in the car and says,
Everything's computer.
"Everything's computer." That's right, sir. That is right, sir. It's all computer now.
Everything's computer.
You know? So I really think I implore Donald Trump to bring the Tesla Memorial Day weekend sale, Donald Trump birthday event, Teslathon weekend event to the White House and just line up all the Teslas. You know, if you're going to have a white trash weekend, you need the car show. Show us the latest model of the Cybertruck. You know, the one where the wheels fall off? When you're going mudding and the wheels just come off because all 1,700 Cybertrucks got recalled. If you didn't read that story, that's a real thing. The 1,700 Cybertrucks they sold last year all got recalled because the rear wheels are just falling off. Please bring those to the White House. Leave this whole shit up. Because, I mean, that's worth a trip. To go and take this photo, bunch of Teslas, a bunch of UFC Joe Rogan heads, and a destroyed East Wing. Fuck, man. That should be a postcard. Welcome to America. Or miss you. Glad you're not here. That should be the postcard. Glad you're not here. Nobody wants to see this in person. It smells awful, you know? Cybercucks. Trump is the most trashiest goddamn president ever. I can't think he planned on leaving. I think he's trying to die in office. Maybe. Why didn't Obama paint the White House black though? He should have. You know, fuck at this point. Please buy a Cybertruck, Fatherson. please buy a Cybertruck. We would all like to point and laugh. Cage. Gudu. How about just loving your neighbor as yourself, want for others what you want for yourself? That's beyond that. Like, they don't speak that language, man. Their whole sense of self is how much they can mini lord themselves over others. That's really what we're seeing in America for eons, since they had the white servants trying to guarantee them their freedom after a certain time in bondage. That was the initial starting of the separating the classes, or separating the races to really feed into the racism, so the white servants and the enslaved people would not go, hey, there's more of us than them. We could fix this problem easy. We could just put them through the 7-mile spanking machine.
Everything's a computer.
It is, sir. It is. You're correct.
No more beardos.
All right. Heard. Glad we have our priorities straight. It's not about protecting America from anything besides beards. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Fatherson is a DL dude. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, that is true. Please don't forget. All right, let's check in with Hassan again. I like doing this.
Pacing you. What is this? Pretty interesting fact from last night's elections. Team AOC endorsed 3 candidates: Adam Hamawi, Sam Forstag, and Randy Villegas. All 3 are on track to win. Pretty strong endorsement record this year. Hope she endorses more leftist candidates. I agree. Well, Sam is not exactly a left candidate, but it's Montana, I guess. Oh, who knows? He's a stud, though. I mean, he's hot. Like, literally, he's just super hot guy. As a disappointed Angelino, all the other progressive candidates makes me think, why can't LA do better? But I'm optimistic. Guys, you need to understand something, okay? The more the machine politics is alive and well, the more difficult it is for there to be insurgent candidacies. California is literally now the only remaining stronghold for deep blue neoliberal corporate Democrats. We're talking about a state that has produced some of the most famous reactionaries in this country: Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, and Stephen Miller. And you're talking about a state that has also produced some of the most famous neoliberal shitheads. Okay? Yeah. Some of the most famous corporate neoliberal candidates as well. Dianne Feinstein, Nancy fucking Pelosi. I mean, look at our current crop of talent coming out of the Democratic Party in California anyway. There is a reason for it. It's because the party system is strong in California. Okay?
And that is what needs to be disassembled.
Basically accomplish nothing except massive dysfunction. Party politics isn't a good way to look at places with long-term Democratic majorities like California. The same interests that fund Republicans are still giving money in California. They're just giving it to a set of Democrats. The places that produce the best Democrats are places where Democrats have to compete really hard, like the South and Midwest. And a small group of states with long-term Democratic majorities with a history of labor politics like Michigan and Minnesota. Yes.
Oh, God. I hate when people do this. Hassan is a phony because he wears expensive clothes. You don't believe that. Okay? And I know you're doing a straw man thing. But when you hear people do that, oh, really? He's talking about supporting the people who are suffering right now, the most vulnerable in our society, but he has expensive clothes. Where was that fucking energy when you were electing Donald Trump for the past 10 years? Oh, you think this guy can talk about knowing about affordability when he's got a golden toilet? You see what I mean? It's like your fucking character just exposes itself when you say stuff like that. Come up with a different argument, something to like nitpick what he's saying. Because that one is just so clearly rotten. It's just rotten from the core, man. the fact that you think like, oh, expensive clothes disqualifies him for caring about affordability. You see how I'm wording that now? Expensive clothes? Oh, what do you think Donald Trump's wearing? You think he's wearing fucking dungarees, dude? You think he's wearing jorts? Come on, brother. Come on, man. And that energy you were not putting out there when Donald Trump was campaigning on affordability and lowering energy prices. Just didn't exist. But now you'll turn it to weaponize, and some people will fall for it. This is why I call this shit out right away, because some people go, oh yeah, how could he be a wealthy guy talking about poor people problem? That's a good point. And that's just pure stupidity. Because if you really believed it, you would never be a fucking Donald Trump fan. Donald Trump, who brags about being the richest daddy's boy ever, who had a golden toilet, who has these obscene photos of him and his family in a skyscraper that he didn't pay for, that he inherited from his father, you know? Oh, it only applies when it's somebody who's like, dude, there are some real fucking systemic issues and we need to work towards a better fucking tomorrow. Those are the people that want people to have health care and fucking housing. Those are the people that you gotta attack. It's so fucking dumb on its face. But I wish you the best in trying to keep your character together, you know? Keep that spine at all times. That's what I'll say. Because if you believe like, oh, he wears expensive clothes, bro, you should get a whiff of Donald Trump, okay? You should get a whiff. And when Donald Trump talks about affordability or the best there's ever been, I want you to go, I don't trust that man in that expensive suit. I don't trust that skyrise baby. I don't trust that Democrat from New York. I want you to say that, okay?
Sam Forstag to like Chris Rabb, right? And in comparison to Chris Rabb, he's kind of a liberal. But also, it's Montana, right? It's fucking Montana. So I get it. Like I'm giving grace.
Hi, El Kabong.
I think even in Montana, you can still have a Medicare for all candidate. But you know, 2024 Republican votes in California were 6 million. In Texas, it was 6.3 million. In Florida, it was 6.1 million. So Florida had more than California, only 2 states. Only 2 states had more Republican voters than California in 2024. He's also stronger on Palestine that you might have heard. I'm not. I'm unfamiliar, but well, I would love to find out more. Friend works in LA County Gov. Their union endorsed Becerra. Wonder if union endorsements are similar to this way to results. Yes, they did. There are a lot of powerful forces in California politics that are a part of the establishment machine, right?
Yep. It's kind of getting boring. Because we already get that. Hold on.
Young people are realizing they're being propagandized at a
Yeah, hopefully the young people are. We got some. I don't think they're young people in here, but we got some people that are still not realizing that they've been propagandized to support the system that oppresses them. And there are some people I just think far too gone to comprehend or to dig themselves out of what they feel is a hole. But there are only 2 classes, the Epstein elites and the rest of us. What the fuck is this? Hold on. God. Ads on YouTube for TikTok. That's where we're at.
I do have one awkward question to ask you real quick, and then I want to get to some of the trends and how you're going to work on them. Did you actually tell Paulty you were going to punch him in the face?
No, sir. I actually said I was going to kick his ass.
Good.
This is crazy that this is like. I kind of like the division. I like that Scott Bessent on C-SPAN is saying, no, I didn't say I was going to punch Bill Putin. Pootie in the face. I said I was gonna kick his ass. Put that on the record. I love this. Yo, get him in. Yo, sit these two next to each other at the UFC fight. That's what I would do.
To some of the trends and how you're going to work on them. Did you actually tell Paulty you were going to punch him in the face?
No, sir. I actually said I was going to kick his ass.
Good. Okay. Good. I share the emotion. Thank you.
And as I said, that was last summer, summer 25. And many teams have fights in the locker room and then go out and win for the team on the field.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because everybody's going to be showing that. I made it clear I'm not going to support Paulty for DNI, but I'm sure they're going to dredge that up.
But
So I thought I'd give you an opportunity.
I had a very good exchange with the director yesterday. Want to keep the momentum going on the FA.
Yeah, well, he lost me when he went after Powell.
Okay.
So we can move on to your core job.
Yeah, they all know the game plan. The game plan is grift the working class. You have your little disputes behind closed doors about whose house is pinker or whatever the fuck they're talking about, you know. But all these absolute criminals know the game plan. Because if this falls apart on them, the jig is up. They're going to prison, you know. The stuff that will be exposed will turn Alex Jones into a gay frog. He won't even be able to hide his real form anymore. You know, Alex Jones has been masquerading as a human this whole time. Turns out he's a gay toad. I didn't want to expose that, but I had to. And once this sham is exposed, once the wool is pulled from out from our eyes, Alex Jones will revert to his first form of gay toad. Gently touch the like and subscribe buttons like they are face of a long lost lover. Oh, that's beautiful. Staffelson. Yeah, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Okay. On that note, happy Pride Month to all the gay toads out there. Alex Jones. And I don't know if we'll check in later, but hit subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Join me on this spiritual journey where every day we check in, we check with some news, and we see what the fuck is going on. Okay? Much love, be kind to each other, and never bend the knee. Never bend the knee. Speak out when you see oppression, when you see tyranny. Continue to speak out. Even for the people that are ushering in the oppression, you know, like no one's going to stand up for that. They can't even stand up for themselves. You know, there's some people that are so American brain rotted, they don't even know what tyranny is. They think tyranny is fucking good for them. And we got to speak up for them too. You know, we do. Oh, what's up, Timothy? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, guys. Much